Mr. Williams, thanks to your skill, you've given me and my men a new lease on life. From now on, you can count on our loyalty. There's no need for that. As long as you stay out of my way, we'll be fine. Before we go, I have some advice for you. You have an unusual skill that's highly valued by some very rich and powerful individuals. The ability to make these herbal supplements could draw attention from the wrong people. Mr. Williams, please think about it carefully. I'm a lightweight compared to these. Thank you for your advice. I'm glad you're going to listen to me. Now I'll take my men to get more of the black fruit for you. Kevin returned to the dining room and saw that Lily, Rachel, and Phoebe were still tied up. Before Kevin had a chance to untie the three women, they all heard the sound of the front door opening. It was Truman Anderson, Phoebe's father. He stood in the doorway with a shocked expression on his face. "Kevin, what are you doing here?" Then he immediately went over to the three women and undid the belts that were still tied around their wrists and ankles. Kevin felt that it was hopeless to try to explain, so he just took Lily and Rachel and left the house. Truman was still trying to catch his breath. He turned to his daughter and asked her, "Phoebe, tell me honestly, did Kevin do this?" "Dad, what are you talking about? You've really misunderstood what happened. A bunch of hoodlums broke through the front door while we were making lunch. They tied us up and tried to beat up Kevin. He was about to explain the rest to us when you came in. But believe me, it wasn't Kevin's fault." While this was going on, Kevin was driving Lily and Rachel back into the city. When Lily was there, Rachel always felt a little more at ease, but when she was alone with Kevin, she immediately clammed up, unsure how to act. "Don't be too nervous. I'm not that scary." "I'm not nervous. I know you're good for Lily, so I want to give you some great news. I'm getting ready to open the biggest hotel in Chicago, and I've decided to ask you to be the vice president." "Really?" "There's only one condition. I want you to help me keep an eye on Lily. If any man tries to get close to her, you must let me know immediately." "I won't let you down," Rachel replied excitedly. At that very moment, at the Jones mansion, Grandma Jones was sitting with the top members of the family. She looked despondent. "I called everyone here today to discuss something that's very important for our future. Lily now has a controlling share in our company. Does anyone have an idea what we can do about this?" Grandma Jones had been miserable ever since Tyler gave Lily 60% of the company's shares. Lily had instantly replaced her as the most important member of the family. But what could Grandma do about it? "Grandma, you can talk to Lily nicely and ask her to give you some of her shares." "Even if she gave me 10%, she would still have half the shares." Grandma Jones perked up when he said this. If she could get back the company's shares, she could start another company and finally put the Jones family back on top. 5 days later, in the CEO's office of Williams Media, Kevin looked intently at the documents on his desk. "Mr. Williams, as soon as the market opens this morning, our company's shares are expected to drop by 20%. After she left, Kevin slapped his desk and took out his phone to make a call. "Hello, Kevin, what's the matter?" "Uncle Thomas, you know very well what's the matter. There's no point in hiding it." "That's right, Kevin. The Williams family did this." "How can you even say that? Aren't you afraid that I'll take back the $3 billion that I lent the family?" "Kevin, if you want your money back, I can transfer it to you right now. I advise you to come back and apologize to your family. We can still work this out." Kevin didn't answer him. He just hung up the phone. After thinking for a while, Kevin decided to call Mitchell Cook, Adriana Wright, Gilbert Rhodes, and the others to come to an emergency meeting at his office. As the most prominent business leaders in Chicago, they naturally found who was behind this madness, but they didn't understand the reason behind it. Kevin thought for a moment and said, "Although the situation looks critical, it doesn't mean that the Williams family will definitely succeed. The first step we need to take is to stabilize the stock market. Let's use our money to push back at them." Kevin is right. We definitely can't avoid it. They're playing rough, so we will too. Even if it kills us, we'll make sure they don't get out of this unhurt. Within an hour of the meeting, everyone in the stock exchange was shocked. As everyone watched, the Williams Group stepped up and invested $3 billion. The enormous transfers of funds attracted everyone's attention. That night, the Jones family held a meeting in their mansion. "Grandma, I have a suggestion, but I don't know if everyone will agree." "Oh, what do you suggest?" "Didn't Williams Media lead the way today? Why don't we take half of our shares and buy into their company?" Jason explained carefully. "That way, however this turns out, we'll at least be able to maintain half of our wealth." "Lily, what do you think about Jason's proposal?" "It's up to you to decide, Grandma," Lily said with a sullen look on her face. "All right, since you said that the decision is up to Grandma, then you'll have to contribute 50% of the company's shares. Jason, you have no shame." "All right, Kevin," Lily said as she suddenly stood up and took him by the hand. She turned to Grandma Jones and said, "Grandma, it's getting late. Let's talk about this again tomorrow." When Kevin got to the office the next day, Miss Wilson had already been waiting for him for half an hour. "Sir, many of our senior executives want to have a meeting with you." "Okay, have them wait for me in the meeting room in half an hour." Next, Kevin checked the company's stock situation on his computer. As the markets opened, their share prices fell by 10%. By now, they had already lost hundreds of millions. Kevin slowly put the bracelet on the table. After thinking for a moment, he decided to call Officer Emmett to ask her opinion. "Hello, Kevin? What do you want?" "I was wondering what you might know about green tourmaline. Come to the downtown Luxbank's office in an hour. Don't forget to bring the bracelet. I'll explain everything to you then. See you later." Miss Wilson came into Kevin's office as soon as he put his phone in his pocket. "Mr. Williams, all the senior executives are waiting for you in the conference room." As soon as he walked into the conference room, one of the vice presidents stood up and said, "Mr. Williams, we can't fight this anymore. Even if we win, we'll suffer heavy losses." Kevin was meeting with the senior executives at Williams Media. They were panicking because of all the pressure the Williams family was putting on them. But Kevin was confident that they could get through this. When Kevin told them that anyone who wasn't up for the fight could leave, they were impressed by his attitude. "All right. Since no one has any objections, let's get to work." After he said this, Kevin got up and left. He went straight down to the parking garage and got in his Pagani Roadster to drive to the downtown branch of Luxbank. Kevin went straight to the VIP area because he figured Officer Emmett would be waiting for him there. But before he got to the teller's window, he was stopped by a staff member. "Sorry, sir, these windows are reserved for VIPs. No one else is allowed in here. If you're looking for someone, you can wait over there by the door. I'd like to make a withdrawal." "You can make a withdrawal from the ATM by the entrance." Kevin frowned. He thought that he was pretty handsome. How come he kept getting this kind of reaction from people? Their conversation was starting to attract attention. The VIP customers were annoyed by his intrusion. "Miss Gray, I'd like to withdraw $2 million in cash immediately." Just as she was about to throw the card out, the bank manager happened to walk by. When he saw the black card, he was so unnerved that his legs got weak.
Miss Gray, what's going on here?"
"Mr. Johnson, this man has been causing trouble."
"Nonsense, Miss Gray. Sir, my name is Evan Johnson."
"I don't need any help, thank you. I'm just making a withdrawal. Am I qualified to stand here now?"
Hi, Kevin here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of InstaEmpire now with the link in the description.